Hello guys and ladies, and thank you for joining me today. Right, what we're going to look at today, we're going to look at, I can't pronounce the name of this thing, so we're just going to refer to it by model number. Okay, it hasn't got the make on it anyway, it has on the box. It's the HF, it's the X6100 HF 50 megahertz transceiver. Now, I suppose this is a portable transceiver. It begins with an X, the name of it. You'll know it when you see it. If I find it, I'll post it up there. But I bought this. A friend of mine passed away a few weeks ago. My friend Tony, he passed away a few weeks ago, and we're charging at the moment. My friend Tony passed away a few weeks ago, and he was a really good friend. Anyway, his son's been getting rid of his amateur radio gear. He was a licensed amateur, Tony. And like I say, he was a good friend, a very good friend. You know, he's somewhere where you could say, "Hey Tony," and he'd say, "What? You know, can you help us with this?" And he'd just turn around and say, "Yeah, no worries, let me just blow my nose." Well, he wouldn't say, "Let me blow my nose," that's me telling you I'm going to blow my nose. But yeah, he'd say, "Yeah, no worries." You know, and we looked after each other for years. I mean, if you wanted, do you know, guys, I've got a head full of snot. You wouldn't believe that, would you? Anyway, it all feels better. Yeah, my cold's coming out of me now, guys. I feel better, a lot better. Anyway, and basically, his son's been getting rid of his gear, and you know, and he asked me if I could sort of put the feelers out. Well, I asked a few people. I've mentioned it on me videos. If somebody wants something, let me know. And so anyway, I was talking to him on Sunday. Now, believe it or not, guys, you probably could find them a bit cheaper than what I'm going to say if you really looked. But these radios, they actually retail at £625 thereabouts. You can get a second-hand one for about 450 around that region. I've not seen them for less. Now, I offered him 400 for this. Was it worth 400? Yeah, it probably was. But I offered him 400 because it's just an, although I may never use it much. Is that realistic turned off? Yeah. Although I'll probably never use it much, it's just something there, isn't it? You know, it's just another radio. And if I do decide that I want to go portable, I mean, if I decide I want to go HF portable, then I've got an HF portable that I can take with me, because I've got plenty, where's me, what do you call it, where's me tid, oh there it is. You know, I've got plenty of radios to take with me if I want to go to 2 meters or 70 centimeters. I've got three radios that'll do that. Do all that for me. But I had nothing in the way of portability for HF, and you know, well, and you know, he sent me photographs. It come with a box and everything. It's not brand new, but come with a box and everything. And I thought, well, why not? So I made him an offer. You know, I'll be honest, I don't mind saying, you know, I offered him 400, and he accepted that, and then I sent him half the. I'm not a rich man, guys, you know, but him being a friend and me being a good friend of the family, because I said to him, I says, you can keep the radio until I make the final payment. I says, I'll pay you in 2 hours, Rob. I says, but you can keep the radio. No, he says, no. He says, no. He says, you're like a member of the family. He says, we're not going to do that. He says, when you know, he says, send me the first 200. He says, and I'll pop the radio around when I get 5 minutes, or when you're feeling better, let me know, whichever, and I'll drop it round. Anyway, I let him know on Monday that I was feeling a bit better, so he popped it round. I didn't let him in because I didn't want him catching what I bloody had. I don't believe in spreading it round. So anyway, what we'll do, we'll zoom in a little bit on the radio, because we will turn it on and go through it in a minute. But it's a nice radio, guys. I mean, there we go. Get this into position. Let's unplug the aerial, because we're going to be going on the test set anyway. I just had it on an aerial to get a rig check. I know it does work, but we like our radio report, don't we? So what we'll do, we'll get the test set up, get it set up ready for the. No, we won't. We'll do that when we plug it in. Then we're not pulling the test set leads about. I don't know whether there's any adjustments on these you can make. Internal adjustments, I would think not. I think everything's predetermined. There's nobody coming in on the chat. Am I actually even live? Let me just check. It would help, wouldn't it? Can someone tell me if I'm live, guys? Before I have to piss about. Can someone tell me if I'm live? Come on, fellas. Or fellettes. I must be doing something, because I've got an indicator there. I've got an indicator there telling me that I'm live. But so I must be. Anyway, basically, we've clicked everything we need to be, and we're not on mute for a change. But basically, guys, you know, for what it is, I mean, you can get these. I've seen them knocking around eBay for about 400. I've not seen one for less. And it came with a load of extras as well. It came with the 3D printed. There's somebody selling 3D printed kits that you screw to. You don't screw the radio to it. You put the kit together and then you slide the radio in, and it's like rack mount bars and stuff. You know, I've took a handle on the top for carrying it, which I've taken that off at the moment. I'll get to that in a minute. But you know, I mean, the screen, yeah, the screen's a bit. So we'll give the screen a quick wipe. Do 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 do. There we go. Get a bit of that on there. Try and clean the screen a bit. It's the only problem with touch as well. It's not touch screen. The only problem with screens, you get fingerprints, and it doesn't take long, does it? You know. So we can get that off the knob there. I think he was a bit too handy with his super glue with our Tony, because that is super glue. Yeah, it's gone, more or less. He did actually put a load of it on the back of it, but I got it all off. Just a little bit there, but I got it all off. Yeah, that's got it. Yeah, that's got it. There we go, let's get the, and give this a wipe here. I don't like the fact that bezel, front bezel there feels loose, but it's just, it must be just clipped in. Anyway, that's better. That looks apart now. There we go, guys, look at that now. Right, so basically, like I say, I look round, and you know, Ross will have done his own work as well, you know, because he said to me, he says, I'll be honest with you, Andy, he says, I know, he says, I know none of it cost me anything, he says, but I know it has got value. He said, you know, he had his dad's ICOM, I couldn't afford that. I can't remember if it was an ICOM 750 or something like that. I couldn't afford that. He sold that for 750 quid. I think it was somebody from his dad's radio club bought that. But anyway, I offered him 400 for it, and I got a message. I sent him his, as I say, I sent him his first 200 across PayPal. I sent that across to him, got that over to him, and I got a message back. You know, next time when you send the other bit, just send. We said when you send the other half, just send 150. He said you can have it for 350. So I got it for 350 off him. But yeah, you know, it needs a good polish up, guys, because Tony really used his radios. You know, he didn't just sit there and have them as display, or you know, if he bought a portable, he took it out as a portable. You know, he used this as a portable because it's got like a man bag, got what they call like a man bag with it. You know, where you put your stuff in and you put your radio, and you know, I said it come with extras. The extras are not in here. It came with a battery, a bloody great big blue battery with the correct connections on to take this. You know, bloody big heavy duty battery, and that's why it has come with. That's why it come with a man bag. Because you know what his idea was. He used to put this on his handlebars of his bike, and he could have his man bag with his wires and stuff. He had his aerial on his bike somewhere, and he'd go up into the hills in Wales, somewhere nice and high, go for a cycle out somewhere nice and high, and what he would do, he'd actually have a day transmitting. But you know, he used to do a bit of fishing as well, so he might have taken his radio fishing. But you know, Tony really used his radios, so I didn't expect it to be mint. It's the same person who bought the Grant off, you know, and that wasn't mint. I don't expect them mint from people who use them. You know, I expect them mint from people who don't use them. You know, I expect if I buy an HF, someone like the 450D I've got there. If I bought that, no matter who I bought that off, I'd expect it to be mint. Because although you can use them in your car and stuff, they can be, because the 13.8 volts, you can use them in that scenario. No one ever does. So you always expect them to be mint. And I said to Ross, I said, have you got the box? I said, the box, I said, when it comes to amateur radio, and this is true, this guys, when it comes to amateur radio, the box is just as important as the radio, and it come with the box. you know, and the USB-C lead and all the other bloody bits. It come with what it needed to come with, and you know, but where the let's just have a look at the radio now. Let's just unplug these wires for a minute so we don't break anything. It's charged up now, that. So we've got a fully charged battery, so we can turn. There we go. See, that just twists off there. Don't know whether that's. See, he's put thing on there as well to seal that, you see, so that doesn't move. Because he actually put seal around here. Hang on. He did put seal around there, but I took it off because it looked ghastly. And there's a little cover there, and I don't know what's under that. Probably nothing. But that's your aerial socket, or your antenna socket if you like. It's a BNC on these, and that just slips onto there like that, and it's not a bad fit actually, because they're normally a bit sloppy. And on the top of the radio you've got your PTT if you want to use it, like, because there's a mic at the bottom there. We'll get to that in a minute. So you can use it as a normal, you know, you can put an aerial on the top and you can use it as a walkie-talkie or a talkie-walkie. You know, you can go walkie-talkie, you can go talkie-walkie with it, talkie-walkie mode. So you've got your PTT, you've got your AM FM. On this it's NFM, which means it must be narrowband FM. And you can't actually change the narrowband to normal FM, it just doesn't do it. I want to check on this actually, see if this one, yeah, this one comes up as FM. I thought it did. Just go through the modes quickly. AM, SSB, CW, SSB, USB, NSB, data, FM, yeah. I thought it did. There you go. But basically, guys, you know, this comes up as NFM and you can't get the N off. I've tried. So I think it's in narrowband FM all the time. It says menu there, but when you press that, when you press and hold that, it doesn't do much. So yeah, there was some tape on here and it got super glue down there and I couldn't get it off. So all I had to do, I just had to clean it the best I could, and then I've got a marker, so I just went over it with a marker. I know I still sound a bit fingy, don't I, guys? A bit cropped up, but you know. So you've got your band here, which is up and down. You got your mode here, which is AM, FM, CW, and SSB. I mentioned the PTT before. Then we've got a VFO selection, A or B. VFO or memory. We've got that. Very easy to program this radio. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll get to all that. AGC. You can change that, and you can also put SPL on whatever. I'm not sure what that is. Somebody will tell me. Because a lot of knowledgeable people come on here. So, right. Then we've got ATT and preamp, and then we've got auto ATU and tune. You press the ATU, turn the tuner on, and to tune it, you press and hold. Give it a long press, or what they call a long press, on the button, and it will tune the radio. It will tune the aerial to where you want it to be. On the side of the radio, we've got the mic socket, a socket for an SD card, a dev socket for sending information to your computer. We may try that one night. Hi Paul, I hope you and Jan are good. Did he say they got a name? mixed up there, because I know she doesn't like to be called Janice, she likes to be called Jan. Hope you and Jan are good, my friends, and the dogs and the cockatoo and the rest of the family. So we've got a DV there, and we've got a host there, so we can actually plug something into this and have something sent to the radio. We've got extension speaker there, Morse key there, and ACC there. If you plug in, I don't know what the ACC is, but I've seen a button for that somewhere. Yeah, there's a button for that. Then if we go to the other side of the radio, we've got the antenna socket, or the aerial as we call it here in the UK. We've got a little cover here, and I've got a feeling that that's probably got nothing to do with much of anything. There's probably nothing underneath there, so we're not even going to look, because they just cover things up that are not featured on one model. And then you've got your I/O input, you've got your little bail there, and you've got a bail on the other side as well. I'll bring us in, there we go, we can see what I'm doing now. So we've got the antenna here, we've got the I/O input, I/O output there, IQ rather, output. That'll send a signal to your computer, so you can send to a computerized oscilloscope or something like that, so you can take readings. And then you've got the voltage DC in, which goes through, which allows you to connect power supplies between 9 and 15 volts DC, which is great, because we can put our, and we've got our screen dirty again because we've touched it. Now the front. The front is where most of the action takes place. Hello Jason. It certainly is, mate. So you've got your volume, you've got your volume, your squelch, and your RF gain. There is one quirk on these radios. On FM, the squelch has no effect whatsoever, and I think I found that out on YouTube watching a video, and a guy said that his work didn't work either. It does on all the other modes. It works on AM and SSB, but they might bring out a firmware update at some point, guys. They might bring out a firmware update where, you know, they'll fix that problem and put it into an update, and we may get that. It might even be already out, I've just not seen it. Does it cover 27 megs? Natively, no. But it will cover 27 megs receiving, but it will not out of the box. Like all amateur radio equipment, out of the box will not work on 27 megs. All of it has to be modified. Because they're part of the amateur radio rules that you can't transmit on the 11 meter band. Does this transmit on the 11 meter, does this do it? No. Well, actually yes it does, but I'm not going to use it for that. It will, but I won't use it for that, because I've got a York 863, I've got the homemade home base, I've got the realistic handheld, I've got the X6100. You know, I don't really need to have my radio, my HF radios, Mars modded rather. I don't have to have them done, because this came done, and I even reset it to factory settings, because I changed a few settings and I weren't sure whether I was happy with them. So and there might have been some settings that Tony had, and I didn't want them, so I don't know, but there could have been, you know. But let's get back to this. So I factory reset it anyway. So this button here, so down the front, we'll go down the front here. So that's you press that, and it cycles between volume, squelch, and RF gain. This is your power button. We'll fire it up in a minute. Right, then you've got your general button, which takes you back to general if you press it. Your app button, your key button to change your key settings, your Morse key settings. Message, so you can record a message on this. This will record the message and let you transmit it. DFN, which is like I think there's some sort of noise reduction, and DFL, which is some sort of like noise reduction sort of thing. And the button, the bottom button at the bottom there, is called MFK, and that also has a press. That's just an encoder, like that one. It's just an encoder with a press button. And these buttons here, they just correspond to what's on the bottom of the screen here. You might want to change, so you press the button and you press that, and then yeah, and that's your VFO. Anyway, I know what you guys are waiting for. Should we go for it? Will my lead here fit it? To save me having to fuck about. No, it doesn't. The twat, innit? My lead doesn't fit it. So we're going to have to use the lead I brought in from the workshop, which is a lead I made up for it the other night. There we go. Right, we're putting 13.8 volts into it now, and we're actually charging the battery while we're doing that. Now, as you can see, what does it cover? It covers, well, point whatever kilohertz to 50 megs. Goes all the way from nothing to 50 megs. Covers the whole 9 yards. So what we'll do, we'll get the test set. We'll get the test set. And we'll connect the test set to the radio. Just connect this to the radio. Just take this off a minute. There you go. Because the, what do you call it? There you go. That's it. Because the socket has some sort of gunge in it, in the threads. There you go. Right. So what we'll do, we'll go to somewhere where we can go to 28 megs, and we'll put it in FM, because we can use 10 meters, and that's 20. What we'll do, we'll put it on. There you go, let's turn the volume down. Right. Now what we'll do, press count. First of all, we'll put our receive frequency, and we want it on FM, and that's on AM. There we go. Right, so we want it on 28. So we want to go 'Put on receive. So we want 28.0000000. Let's turn the volume up a bit. Right, well that's on FM, and that's what we're getting. Not receiving as much as I'd like to be there. Let's see. I'd like that to be a louder. I'd like to be a bit more, to be honest, but it's not. That's S9. So yeah, we're a bit for. See how far we can go before we lose it. That is not brilliant. Yeah, it's. Nothing there. So we'll go to all pictures and we can show you guys the test. Show you guys the test set. Right, we're a camera missing, guys. We're a camera missing. We're a camera missing. One of our cameras is not on. Yeah, it's the one for the test set. So because that's not on, because it's been unplugged. Let's see where it's been unplugged and get it back on. That's it there. Right. Unplug that. Plug that in. Let's see if it comes on now. Properties. No. There you go. Right, that's set on now. Because I unplugged it, guys. So if I bring this back round, there you go. Right, so if I go to transmit, there we go. Because transmit's all we're interested in, really. Right, so what we do, right, so TX power, it's at 5 watts at the moment. So if we get the microphone, we can do it from the top here, but then it obscures the transmit obscures the screen then with my hand, so we'll do it with the microphone. So what we'll do, we'll plug the microphone in. He's got a lot of buttons on this mic. So if I press that now, as you can see, we're doing just over 4 watts. Now if I turn this up to 10 watts, there we're doing 8.7. So we're not even doing, what's the deviation? Radio, that's loud. Radio. We need to set the mic gains and everything up in it anyway. But are you off, Jason? You take it easy, mate. Oh, I'm alright. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel a bit better now, Jason. Thanks, mate. Yeah. So basically, guys, and if we go to SSB, I've just caught that. Go to SSB, that's LSB. USB, that's what we normally use. And if I key the mic, hello. Yeah, just under 10 watts still. Yeah, we're just under 10 watts, but there again, it is working. You know, but they're not a 10 watt radio. Even with 13, we've got 13.6 going in. Let's make this fair. It should say 10 watts on. Yeah, 13.8. Hello. Let's put it back on FM for a minute, or AM or FM, any of them will do. Yeah, we're just creeping up. Yeah, we're not quite doing the 10, we're just under the, we're just nudging it. Yeah. Hello. 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 We're getting a good, what do you call it though? Hello. Yeah, we're getting a good AM swing on the scope down there. So we're not doing bad. There we go. So that's it, guys. I mean, I could have checked the cyanide levels, but I can't be bothered. You know, I think they receive. Actually, let's just do it. Let's just do it for the hell of it. Because then we've checked everything then, haven't we? No point checking the detector. Right, turn a little bit of the volume up. Oh, we want it on receive. Right. The wrong fucking way. Hmm? Oh, hang on, let's... shit. Let's put this on. Hang on. 28. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Now, just get this sorted. 36, that's correct. So where's the signal? Just do that a minute. Why are we suddenly getting nothing? That's weird. Right, so we need to level. Right. Well, that's transmit. Receive. So if I plug that back into there, right, that's receiving. So where's my fucking where's my fucking tone? Why am I turned off? There's something I've pressed. What have I pressed? What am I on here? I'm on FM here. Let's unplug that now because we're charged. Right, so I'll put that there for a minute. So while we're on there. Are we on FM? Yeah. Let's transmit. That's duplex. Yeah, what have I done? That's FM. We're going to change that. Well, so why are we not getting the modulation? Let's move this camera a minute. So we're not getting the output out. So let's see what we've done. It'll be somewhere here I've done. Yeah, 28. We're on 28 there. Right. That's there. Right. Let's see if we can. That's right. That's FM, AM. That's FM. No, I don't get that. Not getting me. See if we get it through there. Let's turn this off again. We'll turn it back on in a second. Must be something I've done. Needs a polish this machine. Go again. So AFJNA is on, AFJN, which is what we normally have it on. B is turned off, but we have it turned off anyway. We always have B turned off for some daft fucking reason. I just never turned it on. Right, so right. Might be something I've pressed or set on here. Not fucking realise I've done it. Let's press. Weird. That. I don't know what it is. Wrong frequency. Yeah, RF frequency. Yeah, 28. Yeah, we're on 28. So I don't know why. Don't know why we're not getting it. That's TX. Right. That could be something to do with it. Turn the what's the volume 130? No. 28.1222. Right, it is where we want it. So I don't know what's happened here. Cyanide, that's right. FM, hang on. That's right. Well, I don't know why we're not getting it. Just see we're transmitting. Should be. So put this on count. On RF what? What have I done? I'll turn the RF all the way down. Oh, we're doing 5 watts. Oh, hang on. We fucking did this last night. Hi Mark and everybody over at Birmingham Mark. Oh. Wait for that to come back on. It is something I've done, obviously. Right. Well, that's not happy. It was before. Yeah, we're not getting any transmit. Why? Hello. So let's see what the So there we go, guys. Let's go to settings. Right, that's telling me there's 13 volts, and there's not, because we've only got well, that's not right, because that's saying we've got 13 volts going in and we're charging, and we're not. We've got nothing going in. That's weird. Yeah, there's the make of it there. XIEGU, whatever that happens to be. I can't pronounce it. Knew it was on it, so I knew I'd seen it on it somewhere. So I don't understand that. Why are we not getting anything? I mean, it could be me. Right. No, nothing. That's weird, isn't it? Hello. I wonder if it might not transmit because I reset it, because it's just started to work on. Yeah. Oh, I know what it's doing. I know what it's doing. It's flip-flopping between frequencies. I know what it's doing. Because when I key the mic, it's going to 07. When I undo it, when I come back. Yeah. So how did I do that last time I fucking did that? I can't remember how I got rid of that last time. Can't remember how I got rid of that. Yeah. It's down to it's one of these. That's it. That's it. Now we clicked that back. Yeah, we're now on. Yeah, we're now where we need to be. Yeah, 3 point summit. Yeah, it only does about 3 watts on. Right, so that's working that now. So if we go to receive, there you go. There we go. Right. We're on 28 megs. There you go. Right. It should be S9. It should be about there. That should be S9. And we're actually at 80 dB on the S9 on this, and we should really be at 76 we should be at, which is just slightly over. Let's plug the speaker in. Now we can let's turn this down. Let's see what we can listen to it at. Right. Right, that's minus 94.5 dB, and we're only getting we're only getting just under 4 cyanide. That's rubbish. So we're getting 12. We're getting 12.6 decibel cyanide. Well, just under. There we go. For 86 minus 86 dB. Now let's check the RF gains all the way up. That's down. There we go. And that's as far as we can go. So we're not gonna. Yeah, so we're not gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah. But we're on the S9 anyway at 76. So that'll do us. I mean, I don't think there's any adjustments in this. I think it is what it is, really, isn't it? You're not going to find anything in this you can actually adjust. It's all software defined. So you know, given that, guys, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's all software defined. With that being said, you can hear my phone ringing. That can fucking wait. Let's turn that down. But to be honest with you guys, yeah, I'll have to answer that in a minute. Whoever that is, I'll go get that in a minute. Probably be the Mildred. Yeah, it'd be the Mildred's parked up in a car park somewhere. Right, there's the. Well, there's the body coin. Go back to TX. Right. Now if we go to our big power meter. If we fucking find me glasses. That's right. Power. There we go. So we're doing just under 4 watts. Hello. We're doing just under 4 watts. Now if we plug the power supply in, which is here, plug that in, and then what we do, £10. There you go. We're actually doing. It creeps up a bit, doesn't it? Jumps a bit, but it's there. 9 watt, 8 watts, just over. So you're not going to get 10 watts out of it. And this is, remember guys, this is on a proper test set, not a Mickey Mouse meter. Yeah, so we'll turn that test set off now. We don't need that. Unplug the aerial, and we'll see if we can get a contact on it. No, hang on. Oh. Plug the aerial in. And we'll see if we can get some sort of a contact. Right. Put this on its bail so that we can see it properly. There we go. Right. Now let's see if we can do something with it, shall we guys? Because see if we can find a contact on SSB. Let's put it on USB. Let's move this up a bit. Do it that way. So we can get a contact. Right, we're not going to get much there, so let's move down the band. I'm sure I can go in here somewhere and do something. Band stack, and band only. All band. There we go. It should. There we go, 27. Oh. Move that now so I can fine tune that in. Got a preamp on here as well. Yeah, that's... Where's the external speaker? That speaker's terrible. See if the external one's better. There you go. Yeah, you can't adjust this. I would like to actually, but you can't. I wouldn't think there's any much in this you can adjust. It's all software. They're all software done, these guys, eh? See if there's anybody on, apart from this rubbish. Move that to, yeah. See, we've got any foreigners coming in. We've got something there. That's taking us down to low band. Yeah, nothing on here today. Well, we can't go on here, we're not really allowed to, so... Well, should we cut? We're not going to. So F1 turns the preamp on. And F2 that's a big improvement. Yeah, let's try and get a quick Roger. Hello. Hello, Chipmunk. Good to see you on, mate. 19 Roger. One niner Roger. Yeah. We are getting out, by the way, guys. It's just, I know that, but we're not getting much. There's all this bloody crap on here. Let's go to 555. Let's go down triple nickel, see what's happening down there. So we want SS USB, which is upper sideband, and we want to put that to there. Yeah, we need another 5 to make it up. There you go. Nothing on there. Hello, this is Andy Apollo. Is there anybody knocking about on here so you can give me a radio report, please? Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong place. Fucking wrong place. That's where we want to be. CQ calling, this is Andy Apollo in the United Kingdom. Are those international breakers copying me over? CQ calling, are you receiving this UK station? At least we're on the right frequency now. And on the right part, on the right band. On the right mode, rather. CQ calling, this United Kingdom station, are you picking me up? Call me knob.
Let's go.
26 decimal 888. Hello, are you on here? He did say triples. He did say 26 decimal 888, didn't he? Hello, are you on here? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to store that in my memory. And then what I'm going to do, then I'm going to go back to triple nickel. Right. Hello, that station that sent me to, that local station that sent me to 26888. Can you try again, please? So if I press that, hello, are you there? Hello, that local station I think that sent me here before, are you here? Well, we can flick between. Right. CQ calling, and this is Andy Apollo in the United Kingdom. Is anybody receiving me? Come on. Yeah, yeah, can you tell me what the signal's like and who's that? Yeah, I got both of you at the same time there. One said I'm not moving his needle. Try tapping it with your thumb. Yeah, the other guy there that came in, I was getting you nice and strong, so you must be local. .405. I'll fucking find it. Hang on. .405. Hello.
Hello, you receiving me?
Yeah, I've got you loud and clear, beautifully.
Yeah, not too bad yourself there.
Yeah, who's that?
Oh, you know,
That's not Graham, is it?
It might be.
Graham is in microchips, but not the McCain kind.
It might be.
How are you doing, Graham?
Just one sec, let me change your microphone.
No worries, my friend. Yeah, we've got microchips on, guys. We've got microchips on.
Right, how we doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right, my friend. Yeah, I'm on one of these. I can't pronounce the bloody make of it. You know, you'll see it live anyway. I'm on the Shack channel doing a video now. I've been doing quite an extensive review on it. I bought it from a friend of mine, and his dad died recently, and so I bought this off him. That's the same place where that, what do you call it, got a service in a couple of weeks came from. That grant, that came from the same guy.
Alright, yeah. I can see it now. Yeah, it looks an interesting piece of kit. A little bit too modern for me, Roger.
Oh, it's a little bit too modern for me, but I offered him 400, and he said no. He says we won't do that. He says give us 350. I mean, it's a bit tatty, but his dad used his radios. So that's what they were made for.
Yeah, how much power does that do?
Yeah, it does 10 watts. It does 10 watts when you put 13.8 volts into it. On its internal battery, it'll do 5 watts. But that's even that's a lie, because I've just had it on the test set, and I'm getting just under 5. I get about 4 point something, I think.
Not too shabby, is it? 10 watts. Are you just running the 10 now?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, not too bad at all. How am I sounding?
Yeah, same as always, Graham. Excellent, no problem. Well, it's working well. I thought you were on a Cobra. I recognised the bleep. Yeah, it's got the Cobra bleep. Yeah, this grant I've got, somebody's been into it, because what they've done, they've changed the button on the front that brightens and dimmens the display to a 10 kc shift. I'm not going to change it back because I'm happy with that. You know, but that being said, like I said to you when you were here last, someone's been in all of them, haven't they?
Hey, well, you can't go far wrong with a Grant. They're a nice, good sounding radio when set up correctly, no problem at all. 10 kc is always handy on, for the alpha channels. Obviously 5 kc. Has it got the unlock clarifier as well?
Yes, the clarifier shifts about on transmit and receive.
Not too shabby. So it's the Grant, they work a little bit. They work a little bit strange inside. They have 2 crystals and a pair of binary adders. One crystal does one band, and then the next band is the next crystal and binary adders. Are a little bit of a weird beast, and a little bit of a weird beast to fit a modification board in as well.
Yeah, Roger. I'll tell you what it reminds me of, and it is probably very, very the same. Do you remember that Stalker 9 you had off me? The board looks very, very similar.
It will be very, very similar. I don't think it's exactly the same, but it will be very, it's on the same age really, isn't it?
Yeah, because this is the early one I've got. Because I think you can date them by the fact that mine doesn't have a heatsink on the back, and the later ones, especially the ones made in France, the CRT ones, everything they make they put a heatsink on. It has got dual outputs. Nobody stole one of the outputs out of it, which usually happens. Because what a lot of rig doctors used to do, they used to steal one of the outputs, take all the bits out that bias that output that's not being used, to try and make it look like it was never there, and then sell the radio and put the output in another radio and get money for that as well. I've seen that done. Yeah, I know. That being said though, Graham, a lot of them aren't they? You know, a lot of the transistors are expensive now because they don't make them. You know, I've seen a guy. I've seen you do the same thing with a Cybernet. I can't remember which one, but I've seen a guy change the transistors for FETs. You know, I've seen a guy do that, and that looked like an interesting modification. I'm not going to do it with mine because mine works. You know, it's supposed to be 10 watts, but it's a little bit under. You know, my hobby meter says it's fucking 15 watts. My test set, which I'm more inclined to believe, says it's 8 watts. So, it's 8 watts.
Oh, I should do a little bit more than that, but hey, oh, never mind, it's fine. These unidems are a bit finicky when you fit MOSFETs. Some like it and some don't. It's like if you put the 1969 in place of the 2312 in the Cobra, they just don't like it. The SSB just doesn't sound the same. And it's very, very similar to a MOSFET. I mean, I tried putting MOSFETs in one of my Cobras and it worked, but it just wasn't right. I just couldn't get it right, so I just ditched the idea and just put the original output back in it, and now it sounds beautiful again.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to leave things. I'm not a big lover of mods anyway, but the only mod boards I do fit are ones that come from you, because they can be taken back out and it can be put back to normal, and you don't have to treat the radio like the Sunday roast and chop it up, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, Andy. I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just watching that radio on your stream at the moment. It looks an interesting piece of kit. Most definitely. Almost reminds me of like the icon display, but yeah. Wonder how much they cost new, those things.
I can tell you exactly, 625 quid.
625 quid, wow. Interesting, yeah, but then again, I mean, some people pay a lot of money for old TVs, so, you know, it's like a floaty boat, really, isn't it?
But that's it, you see. But I offered him 400 and no, he says you can have it for 350. You see what it was. Somebody else offered him 350 and he said no, because he got the feeling that the person just wanted it to go and flip it and try and make money on it. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to sell them to people that were going to use them. I don't intend to sell it because, I think for the price, I mean, it is a bit. I mean, Tony used his radios, so I knew what I was getting. The guy sent me photographs of it and everything, and I knew Tony very well, and he used his radios. So you're not going to get a mint radio from him. That's never going to happen. But he did keep all the packaging and everything that we all like, because we do like our boxes to put them in if we're going to get rid of them again or store them. But it's not bad. I might do I'm not going to do it this year. It's a bit late now. When summer comes next year, I might go up Werner Flow, take a portable aerial up with me and see how far I can get.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting outing for you, most definitely. I keep meaning to go somewhere else actually, because I do like going up there and seeing what I can do, but do like going up there. Andy, I'll leave you to it. I just thought to pop on and say hello, and I'll let you carry on round the band, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, well, thanks for coming in, Graham, and it's always a pleasure. I've not found anything to prize your wallet out yet, but you never know, something will turn up.
Well, it's firmly tucked away, far, far away from you, because I know
Yeah, I know. I won't only have your wallet, I'll have one leg of your trousers as well.
Ain't that the truth? Right, Andy, mate. I'll catch you later on, yeah? Take care, buddy.
Yeah, you take care, my friend. I'll catch you later, Graham. Bye for now, mate.
Catch you later.
Well, there we go, guys. That was Graham of microchips fame. Now we've actually tried to get Graham in the shack, and you know, I mean, there could be a joke in there somewhere, but we've actually tried to get Graham in the shack on the radio, on the roof aerial in the shack, and we've never managed to do it. We've had him once before in the shack in here. You know, sorry, the roof aerial in the workshop, not in the shack. But we've had him before in here when we had I think it was the 40 years or 41 years or something daft of CB radio being legal in the UK. He came onto Muppets, didn't he? And we had a bit of a chat with him on there as well last year. But yeah, it was nice actually. It was nice to have a chat with him. He probably sat there repairing a radio, you know, and you know, he probably has one chundering away in the background, and he obviously heard me shouting on 555. So what we'll do, we'll store this frequency into our memory. I know what it is. It's channel 20. It's channel 20 405. It's channel 20. It's channel 20 mid band. But so we don't have to come to it and muck about, we can press our button here and we can go to there and we can save VFOA, yeah, that's right. And that's what we want, guys. And we're on LS, you know, it's the other VFO is VFOB. If we wanted to use it, would be 705. That would be 705 if we wanted to use it, but we don't. We just want to use. We're going to use VFOA. So we go to there and exit that. So that's 3 bands of 3 frequencies we've got stored. Who's that there saying something? Hello? Hello? VU3 MES, I think it is. Ham radio channel. Aye, I shall certainly have a look in a bit and give you a subscription. Always do that. But it's, you know, it's yeah, the retail at 625 quid, these guys. But like I say, I gave 350 for it, you know, and I was happy to pay that. And I don't care whether they mint or not, as long as they work. All we want is we just want them to work. I mean, it's not very clever on FM. I will own up. It's not very clever on FM, but for a portable sidebander, it's fucking brilliant. You know, you can't moan at that for a portable sidebander. You know, it's yeah. I mean, there's still quite a few things that I need to learn and understand about it. I mean, of course there is, you know, but we'll do that as we get to it. I'm going to unplug that now because the battery is full, and it's red hot, guys, because the battery is full. There we go. Put that down there. And there we go, guys. It's, you know, I ordered a new battery for this because the battery doesn't last as long as I think it should, and the battery was expensive. But that being said, the metal plate that's on the back of this, the metal back is a bit leaves a bit something to be desired, because like I say, Tony used his radios, and he had Velcro stuck on the back of it, but he obviously didn't trust the Velcro, so he stuck the Velcro on with super glue as well in places. So he obviously, you know, I think that's a bit like, I think that's a bit like wearing a pair of suspenders, a pair of braces as we call them in this country. It's like wearing a pair of braces and a belt. You know what I mean? You obviously, if you have to wear a pair of braces and a belt, you obviously don't have much faith and you can't trust your own trousers. You know, but and I just don't think Tony wanted his mic to fall off, and that was why he did it that way. But I managed to get it all off, and I didn't know the back was available. Well, the actual back comes as part of the battery. That's probably why it's so dear, because you get you get a replacement battery cable, you get the back, you get everything needed to change the battery, and the battery only takes 2 seconds to change. So, you know, but it's dear, I'll tell you. You know, I think it come to about £76 just for the battery. I got it from Moonraker, but it is by the original manufacturer of the radio. Hang on, I had a bit of a sharp fingernail there, guys. You know, it was by the original manufacturer of the radio. It was by the original manufacturer of the radio, and it's you know, what can we say, guys? You know, you can buy aftermarket stuff. You can buy aftermarket stuff. I mean, if you looked around, you'd probably find a battery that will work in that. Probably about 20 quid. But, you know, 20, 30 quid. But how long would it last? You know, there was a company doing 2 batteries for 30 quid. Why would you pay for 2 batteries when you only need 1? And if they're selling you 2, then there's a reason why they're selling you 2. Let's come back onto my face so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. You know, so they can, you know, basically at the end of the day, guys, you know, the battery is expensive, but the radio for what it is expensive. But that being said, guys, go back to the radio. You know, it is a nice chunky radio. It's the end caps here are plastic, but the rest of the radio, the body of the radio is metal. You know, the rest of the radio is metal. It's all metal, and it's durable. It's designed to be durable because it's a portable. You know, it's designed to be taken out into the world, and you know, I got a few extras with this as well. I got the 3D printed surround that you can clip on, which has a handle on the top, so you can carry it about. I did say the internal speaker on this wasn't very good, but that being said, Graham came through it really nice, didn't he? I thought Graham came through it really well. I mean, check your phone. Hang on a minute. I've got to go in the other room. Ah, bear with me, guys. I'll just go and get my phone. Check your phone. There we go. See what's going on with my phone. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, so basically, Right, let's see. We're back, guys. Just shut that door. As what's his name used to say, I can't remember his name. Yeah. Right. Oh, it just sent me. That should be enough. That was that manual he sent me. Oh, this is what he's working on. Oh yeah. 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 Hang on. That's what I was working on. Yeah, it's a Cobra, isn't it? I think it's a Cobra. Yeah. Yeah. But like I say, guys, you know, like I say, that it sounds a bit. Hi, microchips. Larry Grayson. And do you know something? I feel really ashamed of not knowing that. Do you know why? Because I've actually got the single Shut That Door. I have, you know. I've got the record and I've had it for ages. My chair's just gone down on me. There we go. I know there's a joke in there somewhere. But my chair went down on me. I've just had to pull the thing up to let the gas leave, let the gas back up, let the strut back up. I think even I'm a fat fucker. Even it's because I'm fat and I'm heavy. What a gay day! Yeah, he was a woofter, wasn't he, Larry Grayson? He was one. He was an uphill gardener. Used to drag a chair on stage with him. And the cuddly toy, he used to do Generation Game, didn't he? He did it before Bruce Forsyth, if I remember rightly. In fact, I think he might have been one of the first to actually do the Generation Game, because he did it way in the 70s. Larry Grayson's Generation Game. But yeah, I've actually got Shut That Door. It's got Slack Alice on the other side. Yeah. But I don't know whether it was just part of his act, but I think he had a phobia about dirt and all, didn't he? Because he said, "Look at the book on this microphone," he said. Yeah, he always brought a chair on stage with him, didn't he? Yeah, he always brought a chair on stage. Yeah, I remember a lot of this. I remember a lot of the television from the 70s. I mean, I didn't really watch a great deal, but you know, you know, there was a lot of things. Did you ever watch that program where they sent that family back in time? But from the first year was the first decade was the 70s, and then the last one was the 90s. The Sullivan Barnes family. It was a documentary, an experiment that the BBC did, and they had to. What they did, they sent them back in time, sort of, if you like. And what they did, they were stripped of all the modern technology. Choose a channel for the evening. You know, basically, you know, if we're talking TV channels, back in 1970, you know, television wasn't an all-day thing like it is now. You know, it used to shut off. It used to go off in the afternoon. BBC Two certainly did. And BBC Two used to close down right up until the 80s. I can remember it. I can remember, I'll tell you this story, guys. I can remember selling my brother a television. It was a Ferguson. It was a BRC 3500, which was an upgrade from the 3000. The 3500 had the bigger convergence panel, and it could use better squarer tubes. It could use better tubes. Instead of tubes that look like goldfish bowls, it could use flatter tubes because it could scan it better. It could scan the tubes more efficiently. I think that's how it was done. And the other thing is, them tubes in them sets were always putting upside down. Where the anode cavity normally goes to the top, on them it didn't. It always went to the bottom. Because I think that was I don't know whether it was the design that somebody fucked up and made on the tripler, so the tripler couldn't reach, or whether they just thought, well, we'll just fucking put it in upside down, fuck it. It made no difference which way you put it in, as long as you put the scan coils the right way up, you know. But I sold my brother one, and I pushed it over to his flat. He lived in a flat. I pushed it over to his flat in a pram, and we got it in the lift, and we got it up the stairs, and I plugged it in. It all come on, and he was happy with it. I think it was about 60 quid, and he was happy with it. And we had it on BBC Two, and the cricket had just gone off, and the BBC, the big BBC Two logo came on, with the big different coloured two made up in letters, in coloured letters, red, green and blue coloured letters. That came on and that faded out, and the sound, and you know, and nothing else happened. So we changed the channel, and the sound was there, but no fucking picture. The sound was there, but there was no fucking picture. So, you know, in fact, the test card should have come on, but it didn't. Well, the sound for it did, but the picture didn't come on. So, you know, he says, hang on a minute. I says, what? He says, I'll tell you what. I says, what? He says, I'll have me money back. I said, you bloody well won't. So I'm not pushing that back all the way over there. I says, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I trotted back over to, I was living at my parents at the time. I trotted back over to my parents, and I got my soldering iron and a length of solder, and what it was, on the top of the top of the line output panel on them, they had a beam. I think it was a beam limiter panel, which had a couple of components, a potentiometer, and it had I think it was an 8 ohm resistor, an 8 ohm wire wound. And what used to happen, if that got too hot, it was a fusible resistor, it used to ping open. And what had happened was, when I serviced it, I put new solder on that, but I didn't put enough solder on, and of course it pinged. A lot of people used to just tie them up, wrap a piece of wire around them, then bloody solder them. And you can't do that, because that's a fuse. So it's a safety. It's a safety component. So it has to be able to open if it needs to. Otherwise, it'll burn up the beam limiter board. Anyway, he never got his money back. Needless to say, never got his money back. But I fixed it for him. It was only that. They were known for it. You had to put a liberal blob of solder on. You had to be generous with the solder, because it, you know, if you didn't put enough on, it just pinged open. And I went to one of them old sets once. I think it was a GEC. Can't remember now. But I went to something once, and there was about 4 of them all open. No wonder the damn thing didn't work. Anyway, You know, the pet hate I had back in the day was, speaking of them sets, them BRC sets. They actually they actually BRC Thorn. They actually had a 2 amp fuse, which was basically a reset button. It was a resettable fuse, and it was put in reach of the customer. It was put on the back panel. Move! It was put on the back panel, and there was a cutout for you to put your finger in and press it. Now, what that used to do, that was to protect. That was to protect the power supply. And the only case I remember it going over, the only case I remember that flicking open, there was a I think it was a BU 508 transistor. I call them, I think they're T packages, but I call them top hat transistors. I think they're T100 pack or something, I can't remember. And what people used to do, let's put the camera on me. What people used to do, guys, line output, what people used to do, oh, sorry, 50, my mistake. It's a line output transistor, isn't it, the 508? Is it a 208 that was used? I know it was something daft like that was used. The 508D, that has a diode in it, that's right, that has a diode in it. But it's been years since I've done one. Anyway, and what people used to do, because Daddy knows everything, remember, guys. You know, Daddy can fix anything. He can. That's one thing about Daddies. They can mend anything. Yeah. Anyway, and what Daddy used to do was press that button, and if the set didn't come on, he used to cut the wires off the button and join the wires together. And what it used to do, it used to make a mess of the power supply. It used to make a mess of the power supply. So what I used to do, whether that was the fault or not, if I encountered every one of them I encountered, what I used to do you know those little fuse holders? You can screw, they're made for cars, you can screw them together, but you can put a little small glass fuse in, a little small fuse in it. Anyway, what I used to do, I used to put a 2 amp fuse in one of them, and I used to hide it in the wiring loom. It used to get stuffed way in the harness, you'd never find it. And I used to leave the original wires connected to the reset button. And I used to leave a long length of them going into the harness, and I used to tie a knot at the end or tie them round other wires, so that even if you pulled it, you wouldn't pull the wire. You know, you wouldn't. And I don't think anybody ever found the fuse. You know. And you know, but it stopped people doing that because it used to wreck the power supply. Because that transistor, and to get that transistor out, I mean, if that transistor was failed, them power supplies in them sets, they were like a sandwich. You had in the middle of them, you had an aluminium heatsink, which formed the body of the power supply. And there was a big edge connector plug on them as well that connected the power supply to the chassis. There's a big edge connector plug on it, and 2 big capacitors, and I think there was a transformer of some description on there as well, on the side. And that transistor was right in the middle of 2 circuit boards. It was like an aluminium circuit board sandwich. There was a circuit board on one side, a circuit board on the other. I think that transistor, Graham might be able to correct me here, but my knowledge, guys, my knowledge, they say you never forget, but you bloody do, you know. If you don't do something for a long time, you do forget. So I might get this bit wrong, and I do apologise if I do, but given that we've got a channel full of knowledgeable people, somebody will know and correct me. And please correct me if you feel the need. But I think that transistor, I think it dealt with the crowbar circuit. It protected the crowbar circuit. And, you know, if that transistor failed, I think it was a regulator. Was it a regulator, Graham, that they used in that? I'm sure it was some sort of a regulator. But if it went down, it went short. It went short. They never went open, they went short. And they used to flick that switch out. And people used to flick that switch back in. And if it didn't come on, because the telly used to go, and then flick the switch back out. And that's what they did, they made a funny noise and flicked the switch back out. And people used to join the wires together. And of course they'd plug it back in. And it would make a mess of the power supply. You know, because you've just sent a short circuit right through the bloody thing. And I used to charge extra. Crowbar would be a thyristor, right? I mean, I'm going back a long time now, Graham. I mean, I'll be honest with you, mate. The last time I had this weren't a thyristor, it was a transistor because it was a B summit. It was either a B summit or a 2S summit. I can't remember exactly what, but it was definitely a transistor. But I've not been in one. I've not been in one for years. You know, I've not been in one of them for a long time. I mean, it probably all come flooding back if I did. You know, if I was to pick one up and mess about with it, yeah, probably everything would come back. But yeah, they were a good reliable telly if you got them right. You know, if you got them right, they were a good telly. And they were the only telly that was ever made, and no other telly could do this. They were the only telly that were ever made where you could run it without the Chromance panel. You could pull the Chromance panel, switch the set on, and the set would work. It would be in black and white, wouldn't work in colour, because that's what the Chromance panel did. But that's the only set you could do it with. I can remember having one come in. One came in for repair with no colour. There was no colour at all. It just wasn't working. So basically, I used to have a test chassis. I used to have there wasn't fucking much of a cabinet on it. It was just mainly a fucking. It was mainly a chassis and a tube. You know. I used to have a notice on it to tell people not to touch the cunt in case they got a shock. But it was basically for testing, basically for testing circuit boards. And I tested the Chromance panel on that set, and there was still no colour. And I tested my good panel in the customer set, and the colour came on. So I don't know whether it was I knew what I was doing or whether it was a piece of good luck on my part. But I just sort of, to be honest with you guys, I just looked at it and I just didn't like the look of this particular transistor. You know, I just didn't get on with him. I didn't like the look of him. Don't ask me why. I just wasn't happy with that transistor. So anyway, I took him out, and I didn't have a capability of testing the transistor then. I basically I took this transistor out, and I put a replacement in it, and I put the board back in my test set, and the colours were all over the place. You know, when you turn the colour up, the colour was there, but they weren't right. So anyway, I looked at it, I'd only put the fucking transistor in the wrong way around. So that told me two things. It told me, hey, I was a daft cunt for putting the transistor in the wrong way around. And it also told me it was a transistor that was faulty. But luckily I didn't have it. Luckily I didn't run it long enough to damage the transistor. So I just got it back off the board and put it in the right orientation and shoved it back in. So soldered it back up and the colour came back on. Customer had their set back within less than an hour or two. I just let it run for a couple of hours in the. I didn't have a workshop then. It was in the bedroom, and I remember we used to have to fucking hump them up and down fucking stairs. Yeah, my dad used to say to me, you know, he said I should be on fucking wages helping you hump these fucking things up and down the stairs. If I was on my own and I had to get one down, I used to stand in front of it and slide it down slowly. Hello, Karen. Hope you and Jeff are good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Scraps trotting around. Yes, Scraps is still trotting about. Yeah, but we've had a bit of fun this afternoon. We've had a good bit of a live stream. I am feeling better now, guys. I need a shave. You know, I do need a shave. I might have a shave in a bit. Why is it every time you're ill, the last thing you think about is having a shave, innit? I could do with a cup of coffee. I hope Christine comes back soon. What time are we on anyway? 3:15, 10:03, 5:03. But yeah, those old sets were so easy to work on. You know, back in the day, if you were doing enough of them. I mean, one of my favourite sets, I used to like them, were the GECs. The only thing I didn't like about them was the double-sided printed boards. The boards were double-sided printed. But if you knew enough about the sets, didn't take much to get one of them things going. Didn't take much to get one of them things going. Them GECs were nice, easy sets. But the bread and butter were the BRC stuff, because it used to blow up. You know, they were called curtain burners. Them BRCs, they were called curtain burners. Another good set, and I never thought I'd ever hear myself say this, but another good set, if you'd done them right, if you knew what the faults were and you'd done them correctly, were the Philips G8. Philips G8s used to knock out a beautiful picture, as long as the tube was good and everything was set up. The only bad one they did make a bad one of those. The G8 was available in a couple of different flavours, and one of the flavours where the convergence panel was above the speaker. Below the speaker. Where it said Philips and showing you the three colour bars at the bottom on the piece of aluminium plate. You took that plate out, that was removable, and behind that plate was a flathead screw, a captive screw. You took that out and the speaker grill came off and revealed the convergence panel. So you could actually set the convergence, you could just pull up a stool or a buffet or something and just sit there, set the convergence. You didn't need a mirror. It's about the only set you didn't need a mirror to adjust, because you could, unless you were adjusting stuff from the back. But the convergence could all be set up from the front. But you know, the only time you had to mess with the convergence is if somebody had been there before you, because you shouldn't really have to. You know. The other thing I didn't like was when you changed the tube, you always had to set the convergence up. It was always out. No matter how careful you were, you couldn't put everything exactly back in the right place. Everything was always out. You you changed the tube, the person said, oh, a beautiful picture on it, you know. Well, they do have until the tube fails. And, but... hello, ZS, PV, is it? Yeah, 3PV. Yeah, but they were an interesting one. You know, there was a lot of interesting stuff back in the day. I mean, I won't touch this modern stuff. I won't mess with these modern tellies. I have done a couple of the early flat screen LCD jobs, but I don't like doing them. I don't like going near them. Same as video recorders. The last ones that were made, I never went anywhere near them. It's like when Thompson took over Ferguson, I stopped repairing Ferguson video machines. The tellies were terrible. I nearly said there they weren't too bad. They were horrible. The Thompson tellies, they used the ICC series chassis, ICC5, the most popular incarnation of it, iteration of it even. That was a terrible television. I knew this girl called Christine, not Christine, my ex-wife that comes here. I knew this girl called Christine, and I don't think she's in the area now, because I used to look after all her stuff. I used to repair all her stuff for her, and you know, she wasn't scared of getting her purse out. You know, if you told her a price and that's what the price was, no matter what, that's what it was. Anyway, this particular morning she rang me up. She says, Andy love, she says, can I bring me television across? She says, what's happened is, and this is true this, she says, what's happened is, she says, one of the kids have turned on the child lock. She says, so basically the set comes on and then it doesn't display a picture and then goes into standby. She said, do you think you could sort it for me? So I said, well, I'll give it a go. And this is true, this, guys. I shit you not, guys. Anyway, you know me. Anyway, so what I did, she brought it round. And I knew she didn't have the password for the child lock. She could have took it off herself. Anyway, they'd put this child lock on and no one knew the password. She told me what she thought the password was. And you had to enter it with the remote control, which she always brought the remote control with it. I mean, the remote control looked like brand new. Everything she bought looked like new. You know, even after like 10 years of owning it, she just looked after her stuff. You know, and so anyway, she left it with me. And what they used to do these memory chips, and they had all different numbers, and they had different, well, they were the same number, but a different colour. You might get a green one, which is for Hitachi's, a red one for Ferguson's. Stuff like that, and there was a yellow one and a blue one. But then there was one that was used in the ITT. The ITT one was open, it was the same chip, but it wasn't burnt in, it wasn't locked. Anyway, and I pulled one out of an ITT a few months earlier that had scrapped because it had a dodgy tuner. And Manchester Colour Engineering wanted too much to do the tuner for me. So get a job. Right, whatever. Anyway, so basically, yeah. So basically, what we did. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So what I did, I had a look in me parts trays, and I knew I had one of these. That had been, it was in an ITT, but it was in a socket. So I pulled it out with my chip puller. Anyway, and I put that in it. I desoldered it. I put a socket in the Ferguson just in case it didn't work. And I put this chip in it, which was unlocked. It was unlocked because there was no colours on them, so they were unlocked. And I put it in and I turned the television on, and it came on and it stayed on. And then all this writing came up on the screen. The art of technology as manufactured by Ferguson. And what it did, what it actually did, guys, it actually programmed. What it did, it programmed the chip there and then. Oh, I need to see what phone call was from. I'll check that out in a minute. Gonna block this arsehole first. Tell me get the fucking job, fuck off. I would get a job if I was fit enough to work. I'm not healthy enough to work. And I was told that by a judge. So you, my friend, you go and fuck thyself. Tell me you get a fucking job. Anyway, I've got 175 subscribers there now. Wow. We're getting there. There we go, you see. Cheers, Clarence. Yeah, cheers, mate. I was just about to do it. You beat me to it. Thanks, mate. I hope you're having a good day, Clarence. I mean, to be honest, guys, right, I worked, you know, up until I was declared unfit for work, I worked. I wasn't scared and I'm still not. You know, I'm not scared, you know, I'm not too strong for light work. You know, I'm not scared of a bit of work and I'm not, you know, don't ever get the idea I'm a lazy bastard. Never been a lazy bastard. Always been prepared to chase 50 pence up the road. Always. I've always done it, guys. And yeah, you know, but so what did I put this chip in? I put this chip in, and I thought, you know, I thought to myself, like, you know, how do you charge for that? You know, I mean, yeah, you know, she used to bring her stuff to me regular, so. And I thought, well, how do you charge? How do you justify, you know, charging somebody for that, especially when they bring the stuff to you, and you know, you get the stuff, you know, you get the stuff repaired, and they don't argue, never have argued. You know, how do you know, you just don't really, you can't. So, you know, I phoned her up. I said, your television's done, Christine. She says, what? Oh yeah. I says, ah. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, let's discuss it when you get here. So anyway, so she come round and I said, just give me what you think. I said, I'll tell you why. I said, just give me what you think. I said, I'll tell you why. I said, because I said, I've replaced the chip. I said, but, you know, and I put a new chip in it. And that sorted out the issue. I said, but it's a second-hand component, which I don't charge for second-hand components, never have done. Unless they're a really rare component you can't fucking buy. Or anything equivalent to it. That's the difference. But, you know, and I just said to her, I said, give me what you think, love. So she said, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. She says, I'll give you £30. She said, how's that? I said, that's fine. I said, because I wasn't going to charge you anything. I said, no, she said, you've got to have something. You know, she said, at the end of the day, you've got to have something. You know. You know, she says, even though you see it as a free second-hand component, she says, you might have bought the telly might have cost you a £5 that you took it out of. It didn't cost me anything, I got it given, but, yeah. You know, you see, but what they did, replacing the chip free, knowing which chip to change, price of a beer. Well, that's it, you see. You know, well that's it, you see. It's the price of a beer. It's a couple of beers in it. You know, buy me a beer or whatever, yeah. You know, but she give me 30 quid. And, you know, and then I discovered, because this thing came in a few times. It came in a bit more often than I would have liked it to, for different faults. Every time I fixed a fault, another fault came up. Anyway, it come in this particular day, it come in. And I phoned up the company I used to deal with called Wizard Distributors on Emperor. They used to be on Emperor Street in Trafford, in Old Trafford or Stratford. They were up that way. And they were selling ICC5 chassis for a tenner. A fucking tenner for the full chassis working. You just put it in your telly and switch the cunt on. Yeah, brand new chassis. And, you know, so I says to the girl at Wizard, I said, have you got any of my ICC5 chassis left, love? Yeah, she said, we've got a load of the bloody things. She says, how many would you like? I said, send me 3. 30 quid's worth. I said, I'll have 30 quid's worth. And I think, you know, I think they come to about fucking, 35, 36 quid or something like that. By the time she got around to putting the postage and shit onto them. By the time everything was added on, it was about fucking 35, 36 quid or something like that. Anyway, so fucking, you know, I paid for it with my card, with my credit card back in the day. Hang on. And a couple of days later, me 3 chassis turned up, and I put one in her telly. I put one in her telly. I just took the chassis out that was in it, threw it in the fucking bin, put one of these brand new ones, and it was basically a brand new telly, wasn't it? It never come back after that. And when she come round to pick it up, she says, how much? So I just said 25 quid. You know, I said 25 quid. I said, give us 25 quid. I says, I'll tell you why. She says, why? I said, because I took your chassis out, threw it in the bin, it's in that bin there. I says, and this is a brand new chassis. I said, you basically get a brand new television. You know, she said, well, my remote's still working. I said, oh yeah, everything still works. It's all been programmed up and tuned in and everything. It's all done. I says, it works beautifully. It's a brand new bloody set, more or less, apart from the cabinet and the tube. Brand new bloody telly, really. Anyway, and it never come back after that. And I've seen her since then, because she come when I first moved in here in 1999. She got my address and come here in 2000. She rang Christine up and asked, you know, Christine who comes here, she asked her, my ex-wife, asked her for my address. So she said, oh, he's my TV engineer. So Christine gave her the address. Anyway, she come round with a CD player, a 5-disc Philips changer, and what happened was one of the kids had knocked it off the fucking cupboard, and it hit the floor, didn't it? And there was a bit of damage. Anyway, I won't go into what I did, but I did a repair on that, and you know, that was quite ingenious. But I did a repair on that, and the repair I did was stronger than the manufacturer could have ever made it. You know, really, really good. But anyway, moving back over to the radio. So yeah, we've done well. It was not a bad little radio, really, guys. I mean, they're you know, okay. You know, the battery's lasting. Mind you, that being said, I was talking to Graham. We was doing 5 watts. When I was talking to Graham, we was doing 5 watts. Sorry, 10 watts. Yeah, I was doing 10 watts on USB when I was talking to Graham. And, you know, I just think it's a good... I mean, like I say, it's not brilliant on FM. Because it's on narrowband FM. I'm not sure if that's right, or whether you can change that. I've not found any way you can change it, and I've tried every button, and I've tried holding the mode button down the FM AM button to see if that changes, and that doesn't. So I would imagine it is what you get. What you get is what you get. But yeah, you know, yeah, we're gonna get the Mildred round here one day next week, guys. He won't come here at the moment. Oh, I want to check where that phone call was from I got earlier. Yeah, it was Graham, the Mildred. Yeah, I knew it was him. He'd have been parked in a car park somewhere. He always is on a Thursday. He'd have been stuck in a car park somewhere. So what he would have done, he'd have phoned me up to disturb my natural rhythm, you know, to upset my natural flow, you know, and disturb my mojo. You know, he'd have phoned me up to destroy my mojo. Because that's what Graham does. That's what Mildred does. But yeah, it was nice to have a chat with Graham, the microchips, wasn't it? Yeah, it was nice to have a chat with Graham. It's because I've only had him on the radio a couple of times before. But yeah, I think when all said and done, I think what for the price, I think it's a good radio for the price. Right. Right. Cheers for that. I'll have a play with it after. Yeah. Yeah, that would involve. Yeah, let me just put my glasses on. Because if I can do it, oh, let's get my phone. It's fucking easier to read it from my phone. There we go. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, Andy, per Google to adjust the FM bandwidth on, yeah, I still can't pronounce the name of it. You need to access the filter settings. Right. Within the radio's menu, and adjust the bandwidth using the multi-function switch. Yeah. Well, let's go back to FM. So, if I press that there and press that there, which says menu, you hold it down, it's supposed to say, but nothing comes up when you hold that. But if I go to DFL, these are your filters here. So you can actually change them here, but right, that doesn't do out. That doesn't do out. It just changes it to red and number says 2. So that just changes the frequency as it always done. See, it doesn't give you the, unless we, can I do it with this? No, it just changes the band. Tune, no. That doesn't make any difference, that. Press that one, it closes it. We go into system settings. Now, oh, it's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on this as well, you know, guys. And they do work. The earlier ones didn't work, although they had it on, they couldn't get into them. You can get into these. Display setting. No. Audio scope. Yeah, let's turn that on. There we go. That's it. Audio scope on. See, that doesn't change. Yeah, that just changes. Filter 2, filter 1. But you can't seem to move it across. I can't seem to move it across. There your settings. We're not going to mess with those because we don't feel we have to. There's nothing to do with the filters in there. Radio settings 1. There's not much to do with the filters in there by the look of that. There's not much to do with the filters in there. But what's this here? That's what I like to know. This other, oh, that's your filters. Hang on. Go back here. Yeah, that. So if I put that back onto there. See, that changes the filters. Oh. I read the manual on this last night, and let's have a look at it. Go to general. Let's get to there. Hang on. Go to app. Modem SWR scan. What does that do? I think it just looks at your SWR. Yeah, I think it just looks at your SWR, and you can speed it up as well. There we go. So. Right. This here is noise reduction. They're all off. Yeah, that's all noise reduction. That's all off. We'd want that off anyway. Message. Yeah, this is where you can. This is where you can leave messages and transmit them. But there's your filters. But if I hold that there, that's a menu button as well, but it doesn't work as one. You hold that there, it's supposed to put it into a menu, but obviously not supported on this radio. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at doing, but it doesn't seem to do much. It just gives you the option, but you can't adjust the frequency. You can't adjust these because this is not touch screen, guys. None of this is touch screen. So there's filter 1, filter 2, filter 3, and default. Now I wonder if you hold that down. No. And that there just adjusts your squelch and stuff. It just does your. See. I'm just trying to work out. None of it's doing much. If I hold that there, oh well. See, that widens it, just changes the filter. But I thought you'd be able to shift it, but obviously you can't. But if I press that, now we're in USB. Ah, now we can do it. Now we can do it, but it has to be in USB or LSB. Yeah. Right, so that. That's there. So we put that back onto FM. Will it adjust on AM? Yeah, it will. But it won't adjust on FM. No, it doesn't work on FM. Nope. Doesn't work on FM, it only lets you do it on AM and sideband. Doesn't let you do it on. But there's a menu here. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys and girls, I'm not going to be using FM anyway that much. I'm going to be mainly sideband anyway, which is what I've got it for. Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you can't change the FM. Apparently. You can change the noise reduction. Do all that. Yeah. Yeah, so you do all that. That's for setting up your Morse key. Yeah, nothing else there. And where it actually says fucking menu, there is no menu. Nothing comes up. Which is that one there. Let me try something. Right. Oh. Yep. I'll tell you what, guys, this battery's holding out, isn't it? Yeah, this battery's holding out because I unplugged it ages ago and it's all just started dropping. Fucking hell. There we go, guys. Right, I'm going to leave it there. We've had a good afternoon, haven't we, guys? We've had a good chat. We've had a few in. One got bad. Yeah, so we've had a good day. We've had microchips on and had a chat with Graham from microchips. Did you like what I said to him, guys? Is that the microchips but not the McCain variety? He said it could be. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good buy, to be honest. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good buy. And I think it's, yeah, I think it's good for the money. Well, what I did, guys, I'll show you before I go. I don't mind. So unplug these leads from the side. There we go. Unplug that from there. There we go. I'll turn it off so I don't accidentally key it up. Right. what I did, guys, because I didn't know that this comes with, it's gone cold now, that I didn't know that the battery comes with this metal plate. I didn't know that the battery comes with this. And what you do, you take that screw out there, that screw out there, and you slide the battery, you slide that plate over and just tip the battery out into your hand. And when you buy the replacement battery, you get this plate with it. So you get a nice new mint plate with it. I mean, I won't put the new battery in yet because there's no need, but that looks alright. That I gave that a bit of a clean and sanded down, and I've scrapped it, got a couple of marks on it again, obviously, and I've actually give it a quick coat of black spray paint. You know, gone over the top and give it a quick spritz. You know, quick done. Lovely. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's just a nice little radio, isn't it? I mean, for your workbench, you know, I mean, it's not perfect. Tony used to use his radios. That's what I bought them for. I mean, you get some people who buy a radio, pay a lot of money for it, take it out of the box and then put it back in the box again. You know, or they never use it. You know. I mean, I use my radios. I mean, what's the point of having them if you're not going to use them? You know? No point in it if they're not going to be used. Yeah, so it's not bad, that. Nice little radio for the money. I'm happy with it. And you know what they say, guys, you know, if you're happy with it, then it doesn't really matter what other people think, because, you know, if you're happy, then you're happy. And, you know, I don't have a problem at all. I'm really pleased with what I got. Really pleased. But yeah, you know, for a portable HF, you know, for a full HF portable, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, well, it's big compared to this. My Yaesu HF there, my 450D, sorry, my 450D, that'll knock spots off this easily. Why? Because it's a Yaesu, you know, but it would. But we know that, you know, and I'm not comparing. I wouldn't even consider comparing a Yaesu to something like this. But yeah, you know, if this is all I could have, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. If I was limited for space, which I'm getting that way, but if I was limited for space and all I could have is something like this, then I'd be happy with it. I wouldn't be embarrassed to have this on my bench, you know, to have this on me in my shack. I definitely wouldn't be. I think it's a good, you know, for what it is, it's a good little radio. It packs a punch. You know, it's supposed to do 10 watts, but it does 8 watts. We'll call it 8 watts. It's slightly over, but it's 8 watts. It does. With 13 8.8 going into it, so it'll do 8 watts. And up on Word of Low, you only need 5 watts. You get all over the place. from up there. You know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it, guys, because I'm going to leave it. The reason why I'm going to leave it is because I'm going to get something sorted out for our tea. Yeah. Just making sure I've not missed anybody. Yeah, the 508A and the 508D, they were line output. Yeah, it could have been a 208. Can't remember now. I need to charge my phone and all. It's getting a bit flat. Yeah, my battery's gonna die, guys. Yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, you've got audio, Graham. Yeah, I'm still floating about. No worries, mate. I just thought I'd tell you you've got some audio. But you probably already knew that anyway. You sound echoey actually when you do that. Roger. Yeah, I better plug me power supply back in, otherwise I'm going to be getting no juice because my battery's gone into the red. Where's my hole? Shove that up my hole. There we go. Yeah, we're now back up to. Yeah, we're on 5 watts now. Well, what this says is 5 watts, but yeah, we're on 5 watts now because it automatically drops when there's no power because it'll only do 5 watts on the internal battery. Yeah, you were right, I did say that, Graham, yeah. The aerial in the workshop, it's a load of shit, to be honest. What I need to do, I need to get my aerial man back out and chuck that other silver rod up, it'd be a million times better. Be a million times better than what that thing is. That thing's a signal keeper, a serial signal keeper, and it's rubbish. Yeah, rubbish, terrible thing. So it's got to come down, and he said he will do it when he gets round to it, but we need it done soon. But then again, do I really need a... I don't really need a radio in there anyway, because I don't really talk in there. I don't fix any in there now. I do it all in here, so I just don't see the point. But yes, that sounded very echoey when you were checking that. Yeah, you know, but it sounds alright, that Cobra. There's nothing wrong with the audio on it. It's lovely.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm slamming the needle over a little bit. Maybe I'm just turning. That's a bit more healthy. Right, yeah. I don't know whether you've seen my digital conversions on these, but this is one I've just done for a customer, Roger.
I think I have, yes. I have watched a few. I've watched a few of your videos I haven't commented on. You know, I've not got around to commenting on them, but I have actually watched. Well, I watch everything you do, pretty much, and I don't think I miss anything. But I think you did. You did something uni, Denny, a while back, where you put where you took the channel, where you put an encoder and an OLED display, I think it was, in it.
Yep, that's exactly what I've done to this actually, and I'm just finishing it off. So yeah, it's good to have a nice radio report with you actually. It's good to know that it's all working nicely. I'm getting a nice one. A nice power output, so no problem at all. And yeah, you're sounding well coming in on your radio. So yeah, I think it's all good, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's. I think it sounds nice. You know, I think it does. Yeah. I mean, you know, but a lot of people knock these Chinese radios, but you know, I've had a few, mainly the 270s, and they come a long way. You know, I mean, when they first started, they were crap. Like the motorbikes, I've had a few of them, but the newer they get, the better they seem to be. I mean, there's a lot of good positive reviews on this radio. On the internet, I was reading them because I was reading a bit about it before I actually purchased it. So I was doing a bit of research on it then, because I said to my friend, I said, don't let it go until I get back to you. You know, I said, because I want to. I've never heard of the make, so I want to. I can't even pronounce it. Begins with a Z. No, it doesn't. Begins with an X. Can't pronounce the name of it. But yeah. I mean, why couldn't they just called it something simple like Arthur? Everybody can say Arthur. But, you know, yeah, I can't pronounce it. Even when somebody says it on YouTube, I still can't get my tongue round it. Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, you know, I remember when I was in school, you know, and the teacher was asking us what our favourite words were. So she said to me, she says, what's your favourite word, Andy? I says, clitoris. She went, you what? I said, well, I like the way it rolls off the tongue, miss. Oh, you know me. I noticed you've turned your bleep off as well.
Yeah, how's this radio sound over?
It sounds alright. Are you on a different radio?
Yeah, I just switched over to the Mark X6100 Roger.
It sounds alright. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Cobra sounded better. No, it sounds nice actually. It's okay. Now I've had a bit more audio from you, I've been able to sort of digest it a bit better. It's all right that. You know, it's yeah, it's not a bad radio. Is that on your job list, or is that one that you've done? Because I think you did it. Did you say it was the Micro Excalibur?
Yeah, it's the one I did ages ago, like a train wreck abort. I just thought I'd blow the dust off it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh yeah, that was that one with the lethal power supply and everything. And I remember on your video you said something like, you know, I'm not going near that. You know, we'll run it on the 13.8. You know, I'm not going near that. But you know, yeah, when you put them power supplies in, you know, you've got to make sure, you know, like when you do them, you make sure they're well insulated, and if there's a switch, it's well insulated. And well, they should do that from the manufacturers. But back in the day, the regulations didn't call for it, did they? That's why.
You've got it switched off, it's got the two exposed terminals energised. So, you know, you're happily working underneath it like you do, and you want to turn it over, what do? You grab the side of the radio, and yeah, the amount of times I've been belted by grabbing over the side of the radio, so no more, sorry, I tied a power lead up and run it off 13.3.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I've had a few things like that. I nearly electrocuted poor Brett once. I don't know if you know Brett. Lives up the road from me. I nearly electrocuted him in my kitchen.
Go on, how do you do that?
He had a rotator, an aerial rotator, the actual control box. He had that, and it wasn't working. So, you know, I had a bit of junk on the bench, because at the time my workbench was in my bedroom because my daughter was living here, so she had to have the other bedroom, which is now the workshop. And I said, well, we'll look at it in the kitchen, Brett. So anyway, I took the covers off it, and we're looking at it, and he says, yeah, I pass it here a minute. So I passed it to him, and as I passed it to him, I plugged it in and switched the plug on, and he put his fingers in, and he dropped it like a hot potato, and he caught it again. Like, I pulled the plug out quick. I says, oh, I'm sorry about that. No, he said, no, you're not, he said. Oh, you can't beat you can't beat a good jolt first thing in the morning. Yeah. I mean, I've had that many electric shocks. When I do get one now, it don't bother me. I mean, some of the shocks I've had. I mean, some of the shocks I've had some really good ones. But you know, they've been proper shocks, but low current. You know, the worst one you can ever get is off the anode cap of a television. You know, they really put a charge into you, they do. Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't go near them after the first one I got. I wouldn't go near them unless I discharged them. I always used to discharge them. You know, just shove it on valve sets. You could just shove a screwdriver up it and go to anywhere where there's a ground. But on the transistor one, you were very lucky if you didn't blow all the transistors. So what I used to do for transistor ones, I used to take the earth off to a separate ground. You know, a radiator, anything. You just take it off to a separate ground and just tap it and done. You know, yeah, they were horrible things if you didn't do it right. Yeah. And the early ones, the very, very early sets, were AC mains derived EHT, and they were lethal.
Yeah, I would like something that should stay well clear of mains derived EHT. No, it sounds like a medieval torch anyway. Right, Andy, I've got to disappear again, mate. Nice having a quick chat with you, yeah?
No worries, mate. It's always a pleasure to have a chat with you, Graham. I'm looking forward to your video, whatever it is, tomorrow night. We'll... man, you've been putting them up on a Thursday just lately, haven't you? I think the last ones have gone up on a Thursday. I know some of them have, but whenever it goes up, I'll look forward to that. And you take it easy, my friend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now, Graham.
Alright. Cheers, Andy. Catch you soon, mate. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, bye, mate. That's our second. Our second. .508 was a stand-up packet, right? Yeah, you know, I mean, I've not done it for a long time, guys, but I know. But I'll tell you one thing, right? If one of those sets was to come in here now, right this minute, and I put it on this fucking table, and I whip the back off, it would all come back to me instantly. Honestly, I know it would, because you see, when you don't have to do something, you just don't think about it anymore. You know, you just don't, guys. It's one of those things, you just don't think about it anymore. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't do, and I don't think about it because I don't have to do it anymore. But, you know, if them things suddenly came back into fashion and everybody wanted one and a load came through my door, I'd soon pick back up on it. You know, they were very easy things to do, them BRC sets. They were very easy to do. They were good, reliable tellies when they were done. They had a lovely picture on them. You know. Yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there because it's look how late it's getting. Wow. It's 5 minutes past 4. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in. Thank you very much to the microchips for coming on the radio and on the channel. You know, yeah, we finally managed to get him on the radio because we have tried in the shack and we've tried in the workshop and not being able to. You know, you heard what Graham said. We've tried in the workshop and not managed to do it because that aerial I've got in there is just rubbish. But we're on the high gain silver rod here in the shack, and that's set up as it should be. So, you know, we're managing. You know, we're doing it. We're getting the job done, and that's only 5 watts, guys. Right? We're only putting, for just double check that for you. That's only 5 watts that we're putting into the ether. Let's go to here, radio settings. Yeah, TX power, 5 watts. Yeah. TX power, 5 watts. And now I can turn the power up if I want. And that's 10 watts. But yeah, we'll have it on 5 watts because we know. We'll leave it on 5 watts because then we're not thrashing the radio. And we know. You know, we know that we know that we can make the journey. You know, we know we can move about the area on 5 watts. You know, and if I need any more, I can put a bit more up. You know, we've got an extra 5 watts as well. It's not quite 5 watts, it's a bit under. But, you know, it's getting the job done. It was actually nice to have a quick rag chew, obviously. Yeah, that was great. That, I mean, I do enjoy having a chat to Graham. You know, whether we meet up in person, who comes round here, or whether we're in person, or whether on the radio, or even on there. You know, yeah, I do like having a chat, and it's nice to catch up on the radio. You know, it really is. It's nice to catch him on the radio, because at least if you got, you know, at least if you ask for a radio report, you know that Graham is a trusted source. You know he's going to tell you exactly what it's doing. You know, if it's shit, he'll tell you. But then again, so will I, because I've just said to him there, you heard me say, guys, I noticed there was a slight change in his audio. So I didn't want to ask whether he changed radios, but I noticed there was a change in his audio, and I noticed there was no Roger bleep, and I said to see if turned your bleep off, and he hadn't. He'd changed to another radio. But you know, now I know what me what do you call it should sound like on sideband. Me 747, sorry. I know what me 747 should sound like now. But anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to leave it there. You've had a whole day of me today, eh? You lucky people. You all take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves. You all stay safe. And unless you want a big dose of the flu, stay away from here. Anyway, guys, you all take it easy, and I'll be back this way tomorrow, and we'll have some fun. I won't be coming on again today, guys, because I've been on and we've had some fun. You know, we've had some fun, and we've enjoyed the afternoon, and it's nice to have an afternoon together. I might do this on a regular basis. Yeah, if you ever need a check, Graham, send me a quick message on the phone, and I'll make sure I'm standing by. Cause I've got 555 programmed in. And I've got that channel we were just talking on. Channel 20 midband, I've got that programmed in as well, so. And I think I've got the 888 plugged in. I think that was the first place you sent me to, wasn't it? Someone did send me to 888. Anyway, but that's in there as well. Anyway, guys, listen. You all take it easy. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Take care of each other. And I shall be back this way tomorrow. Thank you very much once again, guys. Like, subscribe and share. Buy me a coffee if you want to, but that's an option. I'll catch you later, guys and girls. Thank you very much. Bye for now.